Hey everybody, this is Randy with Hobbytown in Toms River. Welcome to my channel. You've seen a few videos before of cars getting built, doing many of the Tamiya mini cars. Today we are on location. We are not physically at the store today, so we will be building the car, but we will not be testing it on the track. If I'm able to hold off, bring the car to the after the track at my store, and you'll see a test on it. Or I might even upload some shorts of it later of the car testing around. Today we're going to build an Avante. It's the MS chassis. It is the Avante X. It is the midship layout, which means it's the motor's in the middle of the car. The car is a double shaft motor, and it's located, it has a 4-to-1 gear ratio. The motor is in the center of the chassis. It is 152 millimeters by 92 millimeters. So today we're going to cut it out and start building it. In many of my videos you notice that I do not use direction, but today I'm going to physically open up the directions and show you what it's like to be on the page, and we'll go in the order. I still am going to cut out all of the pieces prior to it, only because I don't feel like dealing with all the pieces as I go one step at a time. But you'll notice we'll open up each pack, cut them all out. I am outside today. Hopefully the wind won't be bad to blow it over the place. And I will not be using closed caption on this because I'm physically talking on the video now. The flush cut pliers, it's always good to have a good set of these. I do have them at my store. You can follow us at Hobbytown Toms River. Like and subscribe to the channel. The more that watch, the more I get, the more videos you'll get uploaded. My goal is to have every one of the Tamiya mini cars built. Well, every one of the chassis built. Not every car. There's just too many of them. We do a lot of events at Hobbytown in Toms River. We do tracks all the time. They're always set up. Only time we don't have the track set up is if we have some kind of another event go on, and that's generally for a day. Here you go. See, we're gonna get the tires. You'll notice the flesh cuts. Push it right in. There's barely even a knob on it. You're able to just cut it off. Push down as you do it, and takes it right off. So we're just going to take all of these off. And if you ever noticed on my other videos, tattoos on my arm, because it's not me building them. It's my buddy Eric. He does a lot of the Tamiya Mini. He hosts all the events. He's a race master. He's very involved with it. He communicates with Indonesia, Japan, Italy. When we hosted our American Cup in 2019, he was the one coordinating all the people. They were physically sending us cars, which you could do when we do our big events, and we'll send them back to you. That way you can race. The only problem is you won't be able to do adjustments. We do live stream, so we might have the ability of showing you a sample of it going around the track, but whether or not the adjustments are going to get done, that's going to be pretty questionable, only because there's a lot of chaos going on during an event. We just had an event in December with an anti-gravity track with B-pit. They were pretty neat. Basically, the track went up sideways, drove around sideways. You needed a pretty aggressive car. A box stock car was not going to get around it. Get all the junk off the table. The MS chassis is a 3-piece chassis setup, like I was saying before. So it's not one set chassis in the middle that you're used to. With this chassis, we have to cut the pieces all out. We got the bushings on here, but everything will be in its own little pile. You know, and just because you're using flush cut, don't forget you should push against the plastic a little bit with the flush cut. It gets rid of any nub that might be there. I do have to wear the headgear on my head. I don't have a person to help me shoot. Eventually, as the channel grows, we'll evolve to that. cut all these out. And if you do know anything about our store, we are in Toms River, New Jersey, and we are responsible for changing the way Tamiya mini cars think around the US. You know, in many places with a J cup, they will run a wooden track that is built specifically for the cars. You have the classic 3-lane track, which is becoming the most common right now. And then you have the original, well, not the original, but the 5-lane track. The 5-lane tracks to me were the best, but man, they were expensive. Just the changeover track alone was $1,300. At our store, we have about $10,000 worth of track. I don't know the exact length of it, but it's pretty darn long. We want to set it up. But what we did, we got creative, and we would make the 5-lane break off into a 3-lane in 2 directions. Of course, you'd have to use 2 sets of 3-lane, with one of the 3-lane only using 2 lanes of it. And everybody's like, well, why would you do it, Josh? Just use the 5-lane. And what we found out that when you run a 3-lane track with a 2-lane cutoff, you can change the length of the track, which creates a lot of drama during a race. You have these races when you're on a 5-lane, you always know who's ahead. Well, when you break off 2 of the lanes to a different direction in length, you don't know where the car stands in the race until those 2 lanes combine back, and then you actually see if you're ahead or if you're behind. It's amazing, and many parts of the world have started doing it because they're starting to see that it really builds a lot of drama. You know, you guys, especially when you're getting kids involved. We do run a lot of these at my store, and we try to get STEM, you know, involved with it with schools to help build the hobby. You know, this is a toy, but it's not. It's a very educational toy. You can learn so much with this because it's not about how fast you can make the car go. It's about getting that fast car around the track, which is always interesting. So you'll see we'll have the directions out. Now that everything's cut out, should be a rather fast assembly, but I'm still going to go in the order the directions would say. So if anybody's following along for an MS chassis, they can do it. Okay, and then step 1 is funny. They have us putting the body together. You can paint the car. We will not paint it. I leave the paint generally for the customer. If they want to get the car, whoever does get the car, they can make the car their own. If I put the decals on it, they're pretty much set for what it is. And everything is just snapped together. This on. This is a locking clip for the front. That's step 1 and step 2. Of course, if you're noticing there, you can do the direct decals right then in the paint. Like I said, we're going to bypass that. Next, we're going to assemble the axles and the gear ratios. So your tires, you have front and you have rear. You'll notice a difference in depth. So these are the 2 fronts, these are the 2 rear. We'll do the fronts. Put them on. Nice and mesh. Nice and mesh. The 2 axles. Put one in the fronts. And one in the rear. And we're going to, which one do we want to do first? We're going to put the axles through. Take it in here. We're going to get the bushings. One on each side. You see how they snap right in with the flesh cut plier. It goes pretty easy. And we have to get the guide shaft for going in. And when you put it through, You have to pop it. Oh, that's not good. A little bit of wind. Okay, so reset back to that. Bushing fell out. Let's break open our grease. You don't need a lot, just a little dab. Go into the gear. So we need the orange gear. Come on, in the middle. I forgot to put the other copper guide bushing in it right there. You can upgrade these from metal bearings. It does make a difference. And you're going to press it together where they just touch. Spins nice and free. And we're going to take our screws, our small Phillips head screwdriver, I think it's a number 1 tip. You're going to get the guide wheel. You take it, you're going to put a little bit of grease. Let's just go grease all the guide wheels now. This way they're done. They make upgraded versions of these. In future videos, we will be upgrading each one of these cars too, to show you with faster motors and what you can do with them. Okay. Now we need a washer. So we're going to need 4 washers and 4 screws, because we're going to need all of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, here's the 4 screws and washers, all set for the guide wheels. So we're going to take a guide wheel, a screw, a guide wheel, and then a washer under it to help prevent the rubbing onto the chassis. Because I got grease in my hand, it automatically sticks right to it. And these guide wheels are set to go in via a hole by the diameter. If you have a larger diameter, you're going to use a different hole that they'll tell you. The chassis are generally laid out for that, so you know. Otherwise, your car can become illegal when going around the track and it won't fit in the box. You know, years ago, I did a big video in New York City with Ars Technica. We did an explanation of the entire Tamiya Mini. I will share the link in this video so you can watch it. It's a little over an hour long, and it shows you the depth and complexity of the Tamiya Mini racing. Once again, with the stock guide wheels, there's really no direction or worry on how to put it. That. There's the rear section. So you can get the bushings in it. I like using bearings personally, but for stock kits in the box stock class, you cannot use that. You do have a couple different classes. You have box stock. There is a stock class on Tamiya's website, and I haven't been able to find out if that stock class is identical for the box stock. We also run junior box stock in our place. This way, it gives the children a fighting chance with a car. Generally, people find out which cars work better than others, but there's other things involved with these stock cars. You can break in motors a certain way that your car will just gain that many more RPM. So if you are going to get involved in this and do box stock, you really should get a few of the white bell motors and learn how to break them in. People break them in water, they break them in with fluid, they do it with different voltages. We won't tell you our secrets here until that's a certain video. Okay. And you'll see these guide wheels, they're a little bit tricky, so it helps to have a little bit of grease residue on your finger, so when you need to pick up washers, they just come right up. See how this is a little bit tight? I'm just going to back it off, a little slight turn, and now it spins a little bit easier. See that? Sticks right on when you have the grease. Okay, front rear built. So as you can see, it's the front unit and the rear unit. The wind is not friendly today. Now we're going to get the main chassis and put the battery terminals in. See which ones are which. So it helps if you lay them out accordingly. So you have longer and you have shorter. Okay, so for the first ones in the, oh, I forgot to cut out a piece of the chassis. And by flush cut is what I want to point out. See how there's no ridge on the inside of it? Leaves a nice smooth cut with no edges. Take these and slide them down the terminals. And you can tell this is the point of contact for the motor where the motor sits on it. Then we got to do the switch terminal. So the first thing we're going to do is put the switch into it. This is the little switch. Goes down with this nub into it and on focus. You don't have to worry about greasing this at all. It just sets there. It does want us to use a little bit of grease on this point of it. This way, as the switch pushes it down and into it, and you'll notice put the switch behind the terminal right there. It's generally set now. Now we're going to go onto the motor and put the motor together. They are pressured on, there is no glue. To get the depth, I want to say this is, you just push the push tool, that's what this is for. Push it so it lines up. Push it to where it lines up, and that's set. Now you're going to see we have the terminals here that are going to contact the bottom, so be careful with the direction of these. You'll notice that this piece right here, the tabs are sticking out, and the, which one does the top go up? I gotta remember. There's top, use the bottom guides right there, and this will go right in. Top one, big pressure on there, that's all set. And you can tell by the picture, it's telling you when you push it where to go with it. Okay. Oh, forgot to set the motor into the chassis. So you gotta get the terminals down. Okay. Now we're going to put the gear ratio in. So we gotta take these, we gotta take the two bushings. Like I said, you can do bearings on an upgraded kit, but not in box stock. When you have big fingers, it's not that easy to do, but you figure it out. Those are set. We're going to grease these. Also going to grease the gear. They don't give you a lot of grease in these things, so literally just dab when you do it. Plus you don't want too much grease. Too much grease will create friction. We're going to take the gear with it in the hub. And we're going to set it in. So now if I have the chassis, notice the little tabs under here. You're going to, on the front of the car, drop it in. Right there. It should line up with the gear perfectly. And in the back of the car, put the shaft through it. And the back faces forward. And that's all set. Then we're going to put the cover on it. Oops. This cover. This covers everything. Put your tabs in, these little tabs right here. There, it pops in, and then the front will pop in, and now it's all secured. Extra pieces. And you're going to click the front down. This is the battery holder. So you can, or you don't have to put it in yet, but we're going to put it on for now. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to snap the chassis together. The three pieces. So this is the rear. I believe it's the rear. Yes, it's the rear. And the rear pops up and in. See with these holes. Boom, it locks in. Same thing with the front. The two guide holes go in there. And now all your tires will spin. The next thing we're going to do is put the batteries in, which means we'll have to pop the clips to the side right here. Notice the direction of the battery. down, and it should turn on. See how smooth that is? No friction whatsoever. Then when you're done, I'll show you. We're just going to take the body and pop it on and put the back clip on. And that's done with the directions. So I'm going to put the body in, front goes inside, take the rear clip, set it down, and turn it. And now the body's locked on, and this would be the time I would actually bring the car to the track and run it. Unfortunately, I don't have a track here right now, but that's it. Like I said, so this is the Avante X, older kit, but the MS chassis were very popular. Like I said, dual motor shaft, so if you want to buy an upgraded motor, make sure it has a dual shaft on it. They are a 130 size, and that is it. Hope you enjoyed the car. Thank you for watching.